everyone, I'm Angelina and this is Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just unique as us. Today is a very special episode because when I did my 24 hours locked in my sewing room, I said this. Next time you see it, it will be amazing. Or I hope. No, I know it's gonna be amazing. And now I am back and ready to reveal the awesome sewing studio deluxe suite. I have taken over my house's dining room, formal living room, and it used to be the foyer. So I wanted to allow the house to reclaim the foyer because I wasn't able to like almost use the front door because I was always using it. That's where I used to sit on the floor and record videos, the top down version of the videos. I used to use it to record my lookbooks. I had a curtain and mirrors and all that stuff just to make my lookbooks, you know, have enough light and all of that kind of stuff. So I have decided, since we have not used our dining room in 50 million years, I am fully taking that space over. I took it over, but I left the dining room furniture just in case we wanted it to be a dining room. Once in 15 years, nah. It's mine now. So I have my formal living room is my sewing and office space, and then the dining room, which you see here, is my recording studio. So I am going to show you around. Let's do it. All right, so we're gonna start off in my office area, and I have some old elements as well as some new elements, and I'm gonna walk you guys through it. This is the KALLAX table, and it's the long one. I've had this for 50 million years. It is kind of makes the desk a L. I really like it. On top of it, I have some baskets that I purchased at Big Lots, and I really like these because they keep my cameras and various recording things, because I actually do a lot of editing in my bedroom. So because I have a laptop now, so I can just take one of these baskets up with me and the laptop, and it keeps everything kind of in one place. Headphones, my notebooks, and different things like that in one place, so that when I come back in the office, everything is here that I need. I also have underneath this table a couple of things that I need: my travel sewing kit, as well as my ironing ham. I think that's what it's called.
A firm round cushion used to press curved areas of a garment. 3, 2, 1. The answer is Taylor's ham.
Well, ham?
Yeah. It's actually ham.
I don't think it's called an ironing ham. It's called something else ham. I also have some other baskets under there, like ribbon, different things that I don't use that often, but I definitely use them and need to find them when I'm looking for them. All right, so next up, let's talk about my main desk. This is basically just an old piece of a tabletop. I actually cut it in half the long way. Half of it I use in my son's room. He has a table that is on hinges and it folds down. And I just decided to take the rest of it and wrap it in contact paper. This beautiful marble looking contact paper, I wrapped it around the tabletop and it looks amazing and fresh. And it's on top of a little cabinet, a CPU cabinet. It holds my main computer. So that holds the CPU. And then on the other side, I have a cabinet with a bunch of drawers that keeps my office stuff, you know, staplers, pens, you know, everything that you need in an office environment. It keeps that very nice and discreet and tidy. And then on the desk, I have a few things. I have a clipboard. I like to write my schedule out each week, whether it's in my notebook or whether it's on the clipboard. I just need to write it. It helps me to stay organized and to actually get done the things that I want to get done. And then I also have a recent addition. I have this push pin board that I actually took out of the other room. It was there. I had earrings sticking in it, and I just brought it over here to use for different notes and different things that I want to keep in my mind or just display in my office area. And then on the end here, it's been here forever. I have a file cabinet, also from Ikea, as well as my printer. I have the Brother 6490 CW, I believe, printer. I've had it forever. It's an amazing printer. It prints really good quality. It is a inkjet printer, and now I get my ink from eBay. It's a lot cheaper, and the print quality is still good even after that many years. And let's talk about my chair. This chair is actually a mid-century modern chair. It used to have armrests, but I took them off and I also recovered it. It's actually white underneath here, but I wanted it to be more like a fabric feel. And I got this furry topper that is actually like really cushy, and I put it on top. It was something that got from a garage sale or something like that, and I just put it on top of the chair to give the chair a whole new look, and then also a nice fuzzy blanket on top so that when I'm working late at night I can just be nice and cozy. And if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. We are on our way to 100,000 subscribers. We're getting closer every day. Thank you guys to everyone who subscribed, and definitely share this video on your social media so that everyone will know all the amazing things going on here. All right, so let's talk about this area right here. This area has actually been here forever. I moved this from my old next to my sewing table, and it has a lot of the little things that I need but want to keep just away and not seen. So different tools that I use for sewing as well as for crafting, packaging, different like stickers. I have one for different things that I use for hanging different things, as well as one for stamps and stencils. And I really keep things in there like my labels and tags for my clothing line. And then the third drawer, it's a long drawer, and I keep all the zippers that I pull out of different garments, as well as hardware for purses that goes in there. And I also have here, I always like to keep a magazine. I know magazines, people don't really purchase them too much anymore, but at least once a year I like to get a good magazine. Somebody gifted me this one, so I was super excited to get it. It was right on time. It's a Houston magazine, that's where I live. So I was super excited to get that, as well as this is the little sign that was on my rack for my runway show last fall. So I keep it just as a reminder of just like how excited I was that day. All right, so next up is my backdrop that I've had for many years. You guys have seen this if you followed me for a while, but I did want to, you know, just go through it for anybody who never knew what's in these baskets. And one is actually really weird. I'm gonna show you, but so yeah, I have my mom's old serger. This is the first serger she had. My father bought it for her, and she gave it to me when I moved to Houston, but it didn't work very well. But I did not want to give this away. To me, it's memorabilia and it's history, so it's like an heirloom, so I keep it and display it there. On the end here, these look like books, but they're actually not books. They are actually hideaway, like those secret books, and I keep my sewing booklets, like my how-to books that come with the sewing machines, and it lets me know if I forget how to thread my serger. But I don't need the books anymore, so I just put them there just in case there's something that I need to refer. I'll always have them. And then let's talk about my baskets. Number one is the actual weird one, and I'll show you what I have in here. I actually keep hair in there, which is so random in a sewing studio, but me and my daughter used to do doll videos, and we made wigs for the dolls. Like we would, if the doll was damaged, we would clean it up and make new hair for it, make a wig for it. And so that's how this basket started. And then now she's in dance, and I have to keep extra hair for different hairstyles that they have to wear, so I keep it all in here. Number two actually has some random fabric in it, so I'll actually probably clean that basket out and repurpose it for something else that I'm sure desperately need it for. All right, so number three is actually random felt. And then number four has fur, and you'll see that I have actually another place for fur, but this is full. It can't fit anything else, so I have that for fur. We used to do a lot of that with the dolls, but now if I need a random piece of fur, like I recently made a hat and I needed a small piece of fur, I didn't have to freak out or anything like that. Just go to the basket, get the color that I want, and it's already there. Number five has tape in it. You can see that I don't have a lot of tape, but you know, it's tape and other random things. And then number six actually has studs, chain, and random finishing stuff. I don't know what my rhyme or reason was for this basket, but it's all in there. It's out of sight, and that makes me happy. Then in number 7, I actually have ribbing. If you didn't know, ribbing is super hard to find at the fabric store. And so whenever I upcycle a sweatshirt, I cut the ribbing off of the pieces that I didn't use, and I keep it because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to need that ribbing for something else. And so now I have a stockpile of ribbing that I can use in other projects. And then number 8 actually has belting and like strapping and different things like that. That is actually full because I just buy random belts at the thrift store. Especially if I see 2, I'm like, ooh, those will make good straps. And I have used them. That's my go-to basket. I use them in quite a few projects, so it's nice. It's nice to have them when you need them. And then at the bottom here is my kids' keepsake. So for every year, whenever they do something special at school, like in Taekwondo, my kids do board breaking. We'll keep the boards that they break in there, or their awards and different things. Each one of them have a cubby, and we just keep their stuff down there. All right, so let's talk about this area. This area is one of the areas that I've been wanting for so long. I went to Ikea with a list of things that I wanted. Whenever I go to Ikea, I always go into the as-is department, and I would recommend that, highly recommend that, because what I found was 2 tables with adjustable legs for the same price as what I would have paid for just the 8 legs. So I was so excited. I was just like, yes, give me those. I'll take them. Other people started looking at them. Nope, these are mine. Like, don't nobody touch them. Don't nobody look at them. So what I ended up doing is putting 4 of the table legs on this to make it counter height. And that way, when I do my DIYs and top-down recording, I can be standing or sitting on a stool. I have a stool, like a counter height stool right here, and I keep it, and I like to have stools because that way I can push them underneath the table. When I'm ripping and running through here trying to get things done, having stuff out of the way as much as possible is helpful. It's bad enough I have the lights in the way, but having chairs in the way and different things like that, I can just push them under the table and they're out of the way. And I also put a tape measure. I bought a white and black tape measure, and I glued it to the front of the table. That way, measuring, if I'm measuring, like say just a piece of string or thread, I can just measure it out real quick, cut it, and keep it moving. So I really like that. And then on the table as well, I also have my phone holder slash paperweight slash pin cushion, and I also added an extra drawer to this table that I'm really excited to have, because then I can keep other things that I really need at this table. So extra pens and pencils, my chalk, which I got out of that old sewing kit because I prefer to use a sliver of soap. I keep that there, a tiny screwdriver, as well as my X-Acto knife and seam ripper, essentials at a cutting table. And oh, let me show you this vintage sewing book. It's for the Singer 503 Slant-O-Matic. I just thought that this was amazing. So what I have to hold up my camera is actually what I bought, or what my husband bought me many years ago, to be to hold the backdrop. I'm using it now to go over this table in order to hold my camera. This is a little device. It just sits on this pole, and I can screw my camera to it, and it'll hold the camera to do the table, you know, the top-down recording. I also bought another one to hold a light, so that I don't have to drag my lights back and forth. I can just use this, and it has a little, I bought a diffuser to go over it. So it has a diffuser and light up the table, so I can get a really good quality of recording for my top-down shoots. And then on the wall, I purchased a set of hooks that stick to the wall, and I have my cutting mat as well as some rulers over here, as well as I have my clips, my pins and safety pins, all the scissors and rotary cutter that I need, pencils, marking pencils, the little wheel that I don't use this. This is just here. No, I actually found at a garage sale, I found old sewing kit, and it was chocked full of vintage Singer goodies, amazing goodies. So I'm super excited to have that. It's just like, you know, one of those things. I really like vintage sewing stuff that I'm just super excited to have in my collection. Normally I don't make bold choices like this, but I just felt like I wanted the curtains to, I don't know, just have a little something to them. So these are actually, I saw some curtains at Ikea that I really wanted, but they're discontinued, and so I really like palms and different things like that. There's plenty of palms here in Houston, and I saw this fabric, so I actually just grabbed this fabric last night from Ikea, and I came home and booked up some curtains. Alright, so let's talk about the reason you probably clicked on this video. This is my sewing space, and currently I have 2 sewing machines and 1 serger. It's the Brother 1034D. The second one, or one in the middle, is the Singer 4452. And this is the Brother Strong and Tough. This is my main sewing space, and I had to, you guys know this is our motto, but let me tell you, I was so scared to draw on the walls, you know, for the same reason that a lot of you guys are scared to cut clothes. Like when we were little, our parents told us don't do it, like don't write on the walls. In my house, we did not write on walls like that. You did not write on the wall. You didn't even think about it. Like, don't. So when it came to putting that up there, I was super scared because if I messed up, I've heard that this is kind of hard to paint over, and I hate painting. So I didn't want to mess it up, but I wanted that on the wall, and so I finally decided to do it because it was ironic. I'm scared to do a saying that says be afraid and do it anyway. So I went ahead, I was afraid, but I did it anyway, and I'm so glad how it turned out. I made a stencil and then I just filled it in with the Sharpie. I got these glass bowls for a little of nothing from Ikea. In the first one, I have my tape measures. I have 50mm tape measures. Tape measures are so cheap, like, I don't know. Are you guys like this? You just keep buying them? But now they're in one place, so I know you have 50 million, don't buy no more. And then in the second one, I have zippers that I have taken off of different garments, as well as in the third one, I have some elastic, my elastics. And then this fourth one is full of all the thread that was in that sewing kit. And there are wooden spools in here. This one actually has like gold on it. Oh, it's just so fancy, and it's the same brand that we use. It's Coats, but it's Coats brand like from 50 million years ago. All right, so this is the Brother ST371 HD, the Brother Strong and Tough, and I will be doing a review on this very soon. So far I am enjoying it, and on the table the only things that I wanted to have were my organization things, nothing else, because I'm that type of person that if I fill the table with things, one more thing is not a big deal. So if I keep it bare, then in my mind says that table's supposed to be bare, so keep it bare. So that helps me just to keep everything looking nice. So I made these for Vlogmas, and I will link the video here, but it has my scissors in here as well as whatever thread I am currently using for any given project. It also has a seam ripper, which you need a seam ripper because it just happens. And it has a pin cushion, so as I'm sewing, when I take the pins out, I just stick them in here. And each sewing machine has a thread trash holder. So like when you cut the thread, you put it in the trash, and then I can empty that out. That just helps me to keep everything clean and tidy, which, you know, you need as much help as possible when you're sewing. It can be chaotic and things get out of hand real fast. All right, the chair that I am sitting on, I actually purchased this from Ikea, and it is just a rolling stool. I really like it. It seems like I was a little nervous getting white, but it seems like it is going to last very well. And it's only for $33, I believe. I only had to get one stool because it has wheels, and I can use it to go from each machine back and forth. And that works with sewing anyway, because as you're sewing, you know, you want to be moving as quickly as possible. So you're working on one machine, you want to roll down to the serger and not have to get up hey, you know. All right, so next up, let's talk about these shelves. I purchased these shelves from the Habitat for Humanity restore, and they were only like $14. These are the Elfa shelves, and if you know anything about, I think it's from maybe the Container Store, but if you know anything about this brand, they are super expensive, so I was super lucky to find these. And I have everything that I need while I'm sewing. So I have, in the first drawer, I have the hair ties that I use in order to tie my bobbins to the spools of thread, as well as a set of sewing feet that I purchased on Amazon. Comes in really, really handy. And then the second drawer has all of my thread. I used to keep them in a container, and it was really hard to reach my hand down in there. And when you're going fast, you just don't feel like it. So I'm super happy to have them here, just on display. Grab the color you need, make a bobbin. And then the third drawer has just some random jewelry that I took out of the other room, and I just haven't figured out what to do with it. But it also has a ton of vintage needles that I got out of that sewing kit. I'm just super excited to have these and to be able to use them as well, and just a set of needles, some light bulbs. And I also have my grandmother's sewing feet from her old Singer, and I was just super excited to get these from my mom. This is a vintage walking foot, and then I have some other feet in here, as well as a sewing gauge that my mom gave me. Then I have some other feet in here as well. And then the fourth drawer has just random things in it. Like I said, sometimes, you know, you just need to put stuff someplace. And then in the fourth drawer, that's the fifth drawer, I have my collection of vintage buttons. And I'm so proud of this collection. Not really because I didn't curate it. My mother gave me all these buttons. She found them at a garage sale, and she gave me a bunch of them. You may be wondering as I'm going along, okay, that's fine. You're showing us all of this, but where is your fabric? Well, you guys know that I don't use fabric. I use garments. And so you're saying, where are your garments? I had a genius moment as I was planning this room out. I was just thinking like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with all the thrifted clothes? Like all the thrifted clothes. What am I gonna do with them? I have an unfinished walk-in closet in my house. We have used it for storage for the longest. That master closet, walk-in closet, is going to be for all of the thrifted garments so that I can hang them up and be able to see, like, okay, it's almost like going thrifting in my own house. Amazing. All right, so here we have the Singer Heavy Duty. This is the 4452. If you know anything about this line, the Heavy Duty, they have 4411, 4423, 4432, and 4452. This is the 4452. There is no difference. The only difference is the number of stitches, and I basically use 2 stitches. So I could have gotten the 4411. The only reason I got the 4452 is that it came with a walking foot. So it was slightly more expensive, but it was the price of a walking foot. And I wanted the walking foot to, you know, test that out to see if it helps with going through different leather and different things like that. But I am enjoying this machine so far. Like I said, I will be doing a full review, a comparison between the two, because that's supposedly strong and tough. This is supposedly heavy duty, and we're going to go through them and see which sewing machine is the best for upcyclers. All right, so this is the serger side, and I have some of everything. I decided that I really wanted this space to look a little bit more industrial because I have an architecture background and I know how to build things in the shop. I'm always building stuff, working on stuff in the house. So I decided to put some actual tools. These are mostly just sewing tools, but I do have my drill up there. I put that up there because I like to have it out. I had it in a closet, in the box, and everything like that. But I really, really like to have it here. And I have all my serger thread there right above the serger, so that is helpful. All right, so let's talk about these amazing lights. This room, formal living room, but it does not have a light fixture, not in the room. So I would either have to get a big lamp or just figure it out. I have the recording lights, but I like to keep those in the recording studio. And so I decided, just for sewing, like my own personal sewing, not recording, I wanted a light in here. I wanted a light source. And so I was in Ikea, and you know they sell these just hanging lights So I decided to get 2 and hang them between the sewing machines, and I absolutely love them. And in order to hide the black cord up on the ceiling, I actually purchased the cord strips and attached them to the ceiling and the wall going down, so that you don't see the black cord the whole way down, and it keeps it to stay straight. It's not like hanging or anything like that. They go, you know, down behind the table, and I have a light strip that hooks the 3 sewing machines as well as these 2 lights together, so at the flip of a switch I can just turn all of that on. So now let's move into the next room. The next room is actually my recording studio, and this used to be my dining room, and I have completely taken it over. I have a mirror, just really more for ambiance than anything else, but then it also is helpful to make sure that I look decent when I go on camera. I have a plant here, Spiky. He is not doing too well. I told y'all I have the worst luck with plants, so some of you guys have given me tips on that, and I'm gonna try that to revive him. And I also did a Sharpie wall, and this wall, I didn't want it to just be plain gray. I wanted something on it, and a lot of people do their Sharpie walls very dramatic. I didn't want anything too distracting in the background, and so I just did these kind of L shapes, almost like a brick pattern, but not quite. I also have mounted my paper roll up there. I can get other colors now and everything, so I'm super excited about that. And if you are curious about my look for today, I have on the tie front puffy sleeve blouse that I made from a couple of men's dress shirts. I'll link that tutorial here as well as in the description box. And I also have on my two-tone jeans. This is one side of one pair of jeans and one side of another pair of jeans, and a clever way to take in a couple of pair of jeans that may not be able to fit you. And as well, I have on glasses from Zilul. That was our bonus video for Thursday, so definitely go check that out. I have a coupon code for you guys over in that video. They sent me 5 statement pairs of glasses. I got to pick them out. I picked my favorites, and I showed you guys how to style them for the spring. And I also got this rug. I just think it looks really good whenever I'm doing lookbooks and stuff like that. And it's also a lighter color. The floors in here are dark, so I wanted to get the white carpet just to let more light bounce. The more light you get, better quality. You don't have to have as good a camera as you think. I actually have a Canon M50, and you can do a very good job with a little bit. So if we talk about the lights that I have in this room, I have these 2 stands, and they just have Home Depot plant lights, but I bought super high power fluorescent bulbs for them, so that puts out a lot more light and helps me to get really good quality, better quality than I did. Over here I have one of my dress forms. The other one is in the other room, but I like to use this one for recording because it's gray. The other one is hot pink, so if I do an outfit that has a lot of color, I can swap them out, but I use this one predominantly because it, you know, just kind of blends in the background. And then I also have on this rack some of my favorite thrift lists, upcycles that I've done. And then on the other side, I have a few purses that I've made, a couple of them, 1, 2, 3, 4 that I've made, or 5 that I made, and a couple I just use them in lookbooks a lot, so they hang here until, you know, I actually want to wear them in real life. But it's good to have them here because then I don't have to run all over the house looking for them. And then in this space, I really wanted this to be just like kind of like a homey background, another backdrop for doing sit down talks, or like I did the intro, and this was the background also for all of my runway inspiration reviews this year. So I was super excited to be able to do this. This is my card catalog, and if you've been following me for a long time, you know that this was always sitting on the floor. I actually added legs, and I'll link everything that I bought recently in the description box in case you know, are looking for that, or that's something that you want to purchase. And also, if you use my affiliate links, I do make a small commission off of that. It's helpful for this channel, and if you do, I appreciate it. So thank you in advance for that. But in my drawers, I just have a lot of miscellaneous things, all the little things like the paints and the yarn and the glue, fabric glue, and Yeah, it's a lot of paint. And just miscellaneous things, popsicle sticks, anything that you need for crafting. And then underneath, I have a basket with a lot of, not all of, a lot of my denim, cut up denim that I use in different projects. And I really, really love this. It says, never underestimate the power of a woman with a dream and a sewing machine. Yes. And then over in this corner, I actually have a bag of fur. I can't figure out what to do with this bag of fur. It'll eventually move out of the way, but I just left it there because sometimes I just want to remember that I have things. Sometimes I forget that I have things and different projects come up and I'll go looking at the thrift store for it and I realized somebody already gave me a bag of fur. So, yeah. All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tour of my sewing space, my office space, and my recording space, which I call my sewing studio. I hope you guys have gotten inspiration from it as just little things that you can do in order to make your space your own. And if you have a space in your house that nobody's using for its intended purpose, claim it before somebody else does, for real. You guys know that I've been in these spaces for 7 years now, and I'm just so excited to finally claim them and make them everything I need them to be for the future. All right, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. I have a bunch of other videos for you to watch right here, so go check those out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!